Okay, folks, Andrew Bopros here. Yes, I did just film a video and it was released just a few hours ago. And we got some news right after that. I knew something was going to happen. I had a feeling I was hoping it was happen tomorrow. It had happened today. We signed a new edge rusher and we made some roster moves on the practice squad. Plenty to talk about in this video, guys. I was like, holy smokes. Probably should have just waited to do this video until now. But at the end of the day, as always, let's get into it. Okay, folks, as always, like and subscribe if you do enjoy the content. I'm Andrew Bopros. Plenty to discuss here, folks. So here is the actual roster moves from the practice squad. Again, these aren't like super exciting, but anyways, they're definitely noteworthy and interesting to talk about where this team is going. Now, let's make this very clear. Notice Josh Kattenberger actually did really well. He was undrafted free agent. He is now signed back to the roster at Jalen Reagor, now signed to a practice squad. James did just post that on our YouTube page. You might be asking yourself, why Jalen Reagor? Probably for special teams, I would assume. Clearly, Darius Davis is probably not coming back anytime soon. Interestingly, he's not on the injured reserve, so you would assume he'd be back sooner. I don't know. We'll see what happens. They might bring him up this week. Who knows? For punt returns, we'll see what happens with that. But Kaltenberger was actually a pretty good center, and I do wonder what they're going to do with Bozeman. Again, Andre James, I just don't know why we have not looked at him again. We're going to look at the offensive line here in a second. But we let Michael Dunn go, so clearly something may have happened with him. I think maybe they said, well, we don't really need, guard. We probably need a center. What if Bozeman goes down? Again, it's one of those things you think about, like, well, if Bozeman goes down, who could play center? I mean, it would be Zion Johnson most likely. That's actually, playing. So you really probably need another center just in case Bozeman goes down with the amount of damn injuries we've had on the line. And then Muaga was let go from the practice squad. He was more of a special teams ace anyway. So, we'll see how that plays out. But he was gone. But Michael Dunn and Muaga were gone. So I think these two, I would assume, I really don't know why we let Dunn go and then we signed Reagor. I'm assuming it's a special teams type situation, but really don't think we needed another wide receiver. So anyways, leave your thoughts and comments down below. It's a little bit of an interesting move. We'll see, but I definitely think having another center makes a lot of sense because, Bozeman has not played well. Again, let's just look at these numbers right here, guys. 49.5, 33rd out of 35. I mean, almost bottom of the barrel. And Greg Roman seems to love him. He just sings his praises, says he does everything right, yada, yada. I don't know what he sees, but anyways, at the end of the day, Johnson has not played great. 31 out of 74. Not great. Becton hasn't even been hardly out there. So again, I do think we're going to be making some moves on the offensive line as well. Again, we're talking about our edge rusher here today, but I think something will happen with the offensive line, but you got to remember, guys, we're not going to be trading for the number one right tackle or number one left tackle. It's not going to happen during the season. We're going to get a swing tackle. We're going to get a guy that's just there, that's a good player, but, competitors welcome, folks, right? I mean, perfect example, Austin Deckles, we traded for him. We traded a 7th-round pick for him, I think in 2027, to get him to come over to the Chargers. It's going to be some people like that, right? So it's going to be tough, guys. Clearly they're going to have to go out there and try and get some people, but I promise you, George Ortiz is on the phone. He's making calls, doing what he can. But let's see what he did today, guys. The Chargers signed Odafe Oweh from the Ravens. Now, the interesting thing, I looked him up, and he actually this is his last year on his contract. I believe he's getting paid like $9 million cap hit and the base salary. Now, it looks like we are taking most of that. I'm not sure. I keep looking it over the cap. I can't quite tell if we're taking that amount. We have around $10 million of cap space left. So I don't know if we're taking more of that cap space or not. I mean, I'm a little confused. We'll try and track that and monitor it a little bit more. So it might have been a reason why we actually did move. Okay, here we go. So the dead cap is 36.9. So cap hit so it looks like we cut it in half. I think we probably took half of the cap of around $10 million. So I think currently now we have around $10.6 million available. And we'll look at that again a little bit later on as we're going. Again, guys, we're just kind of doing this on the fly. But we have an edge rusher. Now, you might be asking yourself, why do we need an edge rusher? Because, we have, Caleb Murphy. Caleb Murphy was destroyed that last game versus the Commanders. And if you recall, they were running to his side the entire freaking time. And I'll tell you, he was just absolutely destroyed, right? He did not set the edge. Now, don't get me wrong. We love sacks. We love sacks, right? We love, big sacks, all the above. But Caleb Murphy is a smaller guy. He's from Ferris State. He's been here for 3 years. In the league for 3 years. He's a little smaller, right? So he's 250-ish. And he got pushed off the spot, man, and he was just moved away. Oweh will not. He's a big freaking dude, right? And so the good news is he's at least going to set the edge. He did get 10 sacks last year, but it's a 1-year deal for the Chargers. Again, we're hoping to get him to come in, make some good pushes for the Chargers. Kind of a win-win for us this year. That's why it really matters. So I think it's a good situation for us overall. But before we get into the rest of the details, let's let James come in here and talk to you about our sponsor.
Have you heard about the Sleeper app? Well, let me tell you all about it. Sleeper is the best way to experience and connect over sports together. It's a one-stop shop for all your sports needs. You can celebrate and chat on games in real life with other users. Get the fastest scores, blazing fast news, and alerts right at your fingertips. Play in fantasy leagues and win real money on pick contests so you can enjoy sports the way they were meant to be together. Download the #1 sports app today. Plus, you get a $100 deposit match up to $100 when you use code BoltBros.
Okay. It's really awesome having, James just step in there for a second. By the way, check him out, folks. He's going to be on the AFC West podcast today in about 30 minutes from now. So check him out, AFC West podcast. So let's talk about our boy, Odafe Oweh. Now, it's going to be exciting. Now, the other thing I would say about this as well, too, he knows our system. He understands the system that we run here. So it's not going to be a change for him. It's going to be pretty easy. He might even want to come to a team that's competitive. The Ravens are pretty much done. Their goose is cooked. I think Lamar Jackson's best years are behind him at this point. Their season's done, man. They lost their left tackle. Lamar Jackson's gone. I think they're 1-4 now, if I remember correctly. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. But I have a buddy who's a Ravens fan. And he's just like beside himself. And the reality is this, man. When you start going that far down in a division like that, you're not going to recover. So the unfortunate truth is they got to get something out of this guy. Now, again, it's a 1-year deal. We're trading away Odafe Gilman. So Odafe Gilman did not get his 5th-year contract, so we traded him away. And we traded him with a 5th-round 2026 round pick. So next year, which is kind of a bummer. But the Chargers receive edge Odafe Oweh and a Rams 7th in 2027. So we get a 7th-round pick 2 years from now. So, but this guy is awesome. I mean, look, at the end of the day, how long is it going to take Khalil Mack to come back? Your guess is as good as mine. I mean, that looked really horrible, but look, we need some help on that offensive line. And at the end of the day, we got to make it happen now because there's no opportunity. If we go, let's say we lose this week to the Dolphins, that's a game that we should absolutely win. This guy could at least help us win that game and show that they can't run on us all day. Again, edge rushing's fairly simple, right? He just needs to set the edge and get after the quarterback. I truly believe it's a good move for us on the defensive side of the ball. Now we got to fix the offensive side of the ball. You and I both know that. I'm hoping they're going to have some moves moving on forward on that as well too. So it's going to be a lot of information. But Adam Scheffler, this is what it looks like going right now. Now, why Odafe Gilman? I truly think that unfortunately he was not going to be re-signed for the Chargers anyways. I just don't think we were going to sign him back. That safety room is becoming pretty crowded, in my opinion. I mean, if you start really looking at who we have in safety, I mean, like R.J. Mickens, the team loves him. Tony Jefferson, he's been balling out. Honestly, Tony's played better than Odafe Gilman, in my opinion, already, right? Derwin James, he's going to be getting a fat contract. Kendall Williamson, seems like we really like him as well, too, guys. So I don't think that, and again, R.J. Mickens, that I don't know if I said that already, but anyway, R.J. Mickens, the rookie, from Clemson, has looked really good. So I don't see us re-signing Odafe Gilman. So when you start looking at what we did, we traded away a safety that we were probably not going to re-sign anyways, and getting an edge rusher that could help us this season. And that's really the whole point, right? So in a way, it was kind of a win-win situation for us. But we do lose a draft pick next year. But at the end of the day, I think we can make up for that in free agency and kind of go down that route. We're going to have a lot of money left over, guys. Over the cap next year, we have $111 million. $111 million next year, folks. So I'm just saying, I think we make big splashes in free agency. I think we really can go after it. Unfortunately, this year, these injury bugs have just obviously made it worse. But again, going back to this young man right here, Oweh has been amazing. In fact, I wanted to kind of pull up his stats. Let me see if I can find his stats really quickly. But he is with the Chargers now, as we know. But he did get 10 sacks last year, and he's really been one of those guys that just has absolutely been amazing across the board. So let's just take a look at. Let's see if we can see. Okay, let's see if I can find his stats. Oh, here we go. Let me pull it up here real quick for you guys, so you guys can see his stats. Here we go. All right. And again, I'm doing this on the fly, so please bear with me. But here's his stats right here, guys. 2025 Ravens. Oh, yeah, hold on. 10 assists, 5 no interceptions. 2024 Ravens combined career stats, 39, 10 sacks. 2023, 5. I mean, last year was his best year. The interesting thing about this, too, we probably could sign him fairly cheaply at this point. I don't know that he's going to get a ton of money. Edge rushers get paid a lot of money. But with the $111 million we have to spend next year, guys, we could probably easily spend some money on him, maybe get somebody else, and just do a fat rotation in players, right? But again, he's done a good job, right? He's got 23 total sacks in the NFL. He's done fine, and again, look, he does the right things, and that's really what we need here with this player at this point. But Oweh, I think, is a good signing. Again, not going to fix all of our problems at this point, guys, but he does fix some of our problems on the defensive side of the ball with Khalil Mack out, with Caleb Murphy, who just can't set the edge properly. And, it's a big part of this team, man. We need somebody to set the edge, right? If they know that they can run to that side and it's going to be fine, Hayes is going to run around and no big deal, then they're going to run that way and just expose us. That's what they do in the NFL. So he's a good signing, a good young signing. I assume we'll probably try and sign him to a long-term contract as long as he stays healthy, all the above. But we'll see what happens. Guys, what do you think about this trade? Is this a good trade? What do you think about the practice squad moves? Let me say that correctly. Good, bad, and different. What are your thoughts? And are there offensive linemen we should go after? Leave a comment down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts on that as well, too. Okay, folks, as always, Andrew Bolt Bros. See you guys in the next.
Hey, what's up? Cameron Dick here watching Bolt Bros podcast. Let's go.
Charged up, Bolt Bros on the night. LA Thunder in electric delight. Bolts in the battle, sparking bright. Charged up, ride the lightning, feel the fright.